Hello, beautiful people. We are live today. We are talking about compassion. Compassion. Beautiful word in this time of dispassion or seemingly evil or uncompassion. The world seems broken. Life seems broken. People seems selfish and complaining and spoiled, wanting to kind of hoard on to everything, wanting wanting their wanting it their way. So that is one way of looking at life, that everybody's hoarding onto to life, that everybody's oh yeah, that's better. that everybody's engaging with life with selfish means. Countries are engaging in selfish means. Everybody wants wants to be on top. So it seems everybody in the world is kind of stuck in a power game of money and power, and who's got the right thoughts and ideas. So that's where compassion comes in. The potential to meet life with love, as compassion is the energy of love. It's like the how you can engage with love and start daring to have love. Love just seems very ineffable, but it has a practical aspect to it, that of compassion. So as we kind of grow in our way of seeing the world, we're growing, we're connecting, we're finding a life, we're finding a business, we're finding family connections, finding an identity. We're figuring out what we're good at. And yet that's kind of, that gives us focus. That's where like work and school kind of has given us a focus. And then we find, some things we're good at and some things we're not. But then that's kind of like the first level of awakening in the body. The next one is the awakening into love, which if you really do, because it kind of requires like a shifting from just doing, shift from just the focus of the ego, so that you kind of have to release the ego more for love to come in. We can feel love when we have a partner or a kid or our friends or our family. We can feel love when you watch like a movie. We get tears, or we're in love with somebody like a rock star, or somebody secretly like secretly loving somebody in school or friends, or you know but love is, to kind of truly kind of come into love, it's more of a grown-up energy. Kind of have to return and see that there is an adultness to it. You have to kind of become the adult soul, because it's truly, it's not a being a beggar. It's not being a victim to please love me, please have compassion for me, please help me. Kind of where we get stuck in with our friends or with our family, our parents. Please help me with money. Please help me with. Please be our friends. Please support us. So that works on this first level, but the second level of awakening of love requires that we have to kind of open to love. We have to open up to compassion, meaning that we also have to heal that love that we've already kind of shut down. So that is where, like, most people these days are in that place where they might be ready to open to love. But that means that the past will come up because we've kind of shut our hearts closed. Our ancestors have kind of shut our hearts down, shut the love down, shut the compassion down. So the whole world feels a lack of compassion, lack of love. So that is why to open up to love is not just something you can just do just blindly, like, oh, we're just gonna do it. It kind of takes time. It takes, actually, it's gonna kind of be a little painful to open up that heart again. It's like a muscle that you haven't used. You kind of shut it tight. So somebody said, oh, I have pain in my heart. Yeah, because the heart hasn't been used. So to start opening up to love and to compassion is like, that is a whole different energy of your body. Compassion, needs kind of, it's like compassion is hope. It's like I dare to dare to have hope. I dare to have, let's move this one a little bit around. Or maybe I'm not going to move it around. So we can feel like we have given love, we have given compassion to people, but it's like gifts we have kind of wanted to give, but if we haven't gotten it back, then we just shut it down and be like, no, people are not of compassion. So we just lose faith, we lose hope, we lose hope in society, lose hope in our friends, our family. Everybody's just out of greed. Everybody's just doing whatever they want to us and just thinking about themselves. Selfish. That's what's the word. So there is an awakening of life that can happen. Life is loving but it requires that you see that ego side of love, ego side of compassion, where you have just received, kind of become like a spoiled princess who just receives, or prince, too much love from your parents, and you just, sometimes the spoiled ones in the old days were more like, the rich people, the upper class, because they just got, a few hundred years, so they were like the royals or the princes and princesses. That's why I would say prince. They got, so you just like, you became spoiled and you just like received without really appreciating it. So now the last 100 years, and there's like been the female liberation. So then when we start becoming liberated, then that's also where we can kind of become spoiled, because then we can go into this victim mentality of saying, for us. We are the struggling ones. We are the suppressed ones, oppressed ones. But then we like feed us, give us money. We have to be helped. But as a chronic grown up, an adult, we have to also dare to help ourselves. We have to dare to receive love, but also give love and be appreciative of it. But that's where the feminine awakening, which was kind of have happened, is more of a heart place, and that heart center is more connected to the emotions of our ancestors too. So it's not as easy to do love, because then if you're like, well, I'm just faking it. Should I just love somebody that don't love me? Should I just have sex with somebody that haven't given me roses? Can I just fake it? It feels fake. So that's what the spoiled be like, oh, I'm just gonna shut down and just hide away and remain spoiled. There is no use. There is no one in this world who really loves. So that's where the world is now. We are realizing that to just be given without actually receiving it, then you're just kind of overspending. You're just kind of not really taking it. It's like having money without really appreciating it, then it actually goes to waste in a way. So, business and other places, life, a family, we can come to a place of love where we like act out of compassion, where we receive compassion, because it is an energy that is it is equal in its essence. Thus, it is kind of requires more maturity. It becomes that you have to kind of go from the kid to the adult. So sometimes you see parents suddenly are more compassionate with their kids. So they give. But then you also have to dare to receive, or else you're just draining yourself. Then a lot of parents are still just adult. They're still kids. So that's why it also requires the acknowledgement that you have kind of shut that heart down since you were little, since your ancestors, thousands of years back. So we've been used to just being heartless. And yet we can open to that heart again, to kind of start nurturing ourselves from a place of the heart. This is where the second level of enlightenment comes in, or awakening, where you can start to like trust, but then it needs trusting that this process is there, because the process can seem a little heartless. You can seem like you're failing because your mind is still stuck in, if I'm going to give love, I'm going to receive it. We want instant gratification. That is where often teenagers and students and all these people, they just want everything to be fixed now. The world should be fixed, environment should be fixed, school should be fixed. But in a way, the world is a growing entity. The consciousness of the world is a growing entity, and our ego is kind of connected with this world. So to start kind of seeing that we're connected, but also daring to like have compassion, then we can start to let breath kind of be. We can start to see that people like some people start, then as you wake up to compassion, then you will start to see that everybody has compassion in their hearts. It's always there. But if you don't, you have to start with yourself. That's the goal. I have to start with it. But it's not what I give, it's what I am. And it's like turning the other cheek. People will still sometimes try to hate you or try to screw you over. But then when you start to dare to smile at them and come on in, let me give you a hug. Let me dare to keep trusting. Then there's hope. Your heart starts breathing. And you can suddenly start seeing that the other side is a new level. And that's where most people in this world are coming to, that they're looking for this level. It's just that it actually requires some self, commitment to the journey. So when I talk about it, it's so that people can hear about it and be like, ooh, there's a different energy here, because your body, to really open up, your body needs compassion to truly like walk naked through the world. And you need to have compassion for your body and be like, oh, my body is loving, it is compassionate towards itself, it is perfect. It's not based on what everybody else thinks about it. It has a natural, compassionate heart. So to connect with this heart is what we are opening to. Compassionate, then compassion towards others comes natural. So that is what we are kind of working on, being reminded, because in the process of opening up the heart, opening to compassion, then you will also, all the memories, yours and everybody else's, and your ancestors, will come up. All the rejection. Yeah, but I was compassionate, but compassion can really, we have all experienced compassion once in a while, but it is not really a teaching that is has been very strongly connected there, because it requires you to kind of step more into the awakened soul, the enlightenment of being. So it actually requires a little bit more perseverance. I like it like that. So it requires patience. That is where's the wisdom come in? It requires patience. So I kind of talk about this in videos and one-to-one and in my books, that we can receive compassion when we start having compassion. Because compassion kind of has to come from a place of calm. It's not an emotion. It's not from desperation. It's not from neediness. So it is from ease. I use the word ease. Compassion kind of allowing it to be, then you gradually will start to be like, compassion is when you stop thinking about it. But you also have to open to it first. You have to realize how natural compassion is. And yet most of us have forgotten. Or we haven't forgotten, we don't see the point, because it doesn't seem to have a benefit for us. It's not beneficial. So then we remain faithless, devoid of hope. And yet just on the other side of this emptiness and this loneliness, this this heartbreak, just on the other side of it is hope. Hopefulness is there to fill up your heart again, starting to use that muscle. And when you realize that, yeah, your body to actually, for the body to have life, it actually needs for you to dare to have love. Compassion is that the love just overflowing. But it's not just flowing forward, it's like a fountain flowing backward. It's like into you, flowing always, everywhere. So it doesn't require you to see that others are treating you with compassion. You're still treating yourself with compassion. So it is independent, it's detached, it is relaxed. And then you gradually will realize that compassion is. It is naturally affable here. And that's where you can start to enjoy the nature of love, which is the compassion of. And then when you allow yourself your work to become compassionate, then you will notice that all the business and all the people around you will also start kind of treating you that way. But it still takes time to find this level. As most people don't really believe it's possible. So that's why most people don't really talk about it. They just talk about energy, or they talk about, connection or friendships or purpose, or find all these things, that which is kind of like the first level. So the first level, we're kind of like a teenager. The next level, we have to grow up. Dare to find, if you're connected to this, there's an adultness that your soul has found its adult perspective, where it's ready to kind of treat life differently. And yet most people around would probably say, like, no, it's not possible. You just have to succumb to all the, yeah, you're not gonna survive, and you have to be scared, and you have to secure yourself, and you have to survive. Compassion is like living, and it is the act of loving, the act of enjoying life that we can do. So if you are watching this for the first time, whether now or later, like, if you received these words, the energy, then you can also come into this last little section of my talk, which you can kind of close your eyes and kind of allow yourself to kind of bathe in the energy of love. It's like when you open up to compassion, when you open up to the energy of relaxation, the energy of ease, then it is the energy of just receiving. So you have to open up, but then you also have to dare to just silence yourself and receive this gentle energy of compassion, this gentle energy of that heals your soul, and that kind of reestablish balance within. So we're opening up a space that might be wounded, or that might have been kind of strained or tense or heavy or burdened, and then we can let it find ease. It can come into a different way of a different embrace. So if you want to, and if you are here, and if you want to say hi, you can also say hi or give a heart, or different say, or comment, or subscribe or like. But most of all, just, you can close your eyes or keep them open, but just let these shoulders kind of come down, and then this energy just kind of starts coming in. And it kind of settles in, and it opens up. And it kind of sinks into your body, into your hips, into your shoulders, into your knees, into your feet, into your soul, into the ground of your existence. You're kind of opening up the gates. And then from there, it kind of opens up again, and it kind of nurtures you, seeps into all the bones and muscles and all the energies that needs to flow and dance. And it kind of comes up through you almost like an orgasm. It just washes over you, goes through you. And then it's released like a sneeze. Good. And then you can open up your eyes again. And if you like it, you can come back to this video and watch it again. And yeah, if watching it again, you might discover different words, and you can also donate or like share with your friends, or comment or like or follow, and have fun with it. And yeah, it is a beautiful Wednesday for you, the ones that are here today. And I will enjoy your comments. And if you have questions that I might bring up until the next Wednesday, please comment, and yeah, or DM me on the site. And until then, I will see you then.